megala, somebody's megala your chet, don't go decide to be megala his chet, because you'll be over on lashon hara and nekama and netira, right? And don't even say, oh, he messed me up and I didn't even mess him up, because that's also halfway. You're halfway home for a chet on that one too. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yaakov, tomorrow, what do you want to do time-wise?
There's no early Yom Tov tomorrow.
Correct. So you want to do 7 o'clock?
Definitely not before. 7 o'clock ish. Yeah. If it has to change, then I guess we'll post it out. Hopefully, so tonight, hopefully, we'll do a little bit more. That we'll do a blot and change, and then tomorrow we'll do a little blot and change. And Bez Hashem Matzah Yom Tov will do a blot and change. Matzah Yom Tov, it's got to be. It can't be before 9:40, 9:45.
Very good.
Yes. Okay. Tonight's stop is not the easy. Part of it is. Part of it is easy, but part of it is a little bit technical. Okay, so we left off yesterday. We had a machlokes on the bottom of Zion on the base. So we had a machlokes if the get is written in the water. The assumption was that the water was Eretz Yisrael. So the get was written in the water of a stream in Eretz Yisrael. So the question is that considered part of Eretz Yisrael, in which case the shliach does not have to say b'fanei nechta. Right? So, right. So we had said that there were two mahalchim in the machlokes. We said maybe the machlokes is whether you hold water is an issue or not, meaning maybe water is considered like the ground. And the first pshat was that it's stam machlokes Rabbi Yehuda and the Rabbanon. What do you hold of dirt? Chutz la'aretz dirt. Whether you have to take if you grow it like on a flower pot that's not on the ground, does that need trumas and ma'asos or not? So we thought that that's the same, would be the same case as if a get was written on a boat. So does it need fanei nefta, right?
We want to actually say that the water is not part of Eretz Yisrael, that the Kinneret is not part of Eretz Yisrael. What do we want to say?
It is part of Eretz Yisrael, but maybe, by the Trumas and Maisus, the question is it yoinik from the karka of Eretz Yisrael?
That's a separate thing.
But... Right. So that's what the Gemara was clearing yesterday. Maybe you can't compare the two. And then by the ship, maybe Taka, the water of Eretz Yisrael, is not part of Eretz Yisrael. And then the Gemara says, who says that the two are comparable? Right? Gittin is one Indian and being, getting nourishment from the ground is another Indian. Right?
Okay.
That's what we're up to. So 6 lines down from the top, Chesam Aleph, 5 lines down from the top. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak has a different mahalach in this Gemara. Right? Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Omar, he says, Benarais the Eretz Yisrael the Kuli Amalei Pligi, like Rabban that you just said. Right? The water in Eretz Yisrael, there's no machlokes. Right? It's part of Eretz Yisrael. Right? Even though Rabbi Yehuda holds that for Trumas and Maisis, it's not part of Eretz Yisrael, right? But Rashi says that it has nothing to do with the ground. It has to do with people being knowledgeable in Eretz Yisrael. Rashi doesn't say that exactly, right? But what is people being knowledgeable in Eretz Yisrael? They had to get onto the boat somehow. Right, so why would they have to say fanei nefta? They got onto a boat. They're on a boat in Eretz Yisrael, but with being yoinik from the ground, that's a different story. Yeah, fine. So but in the Haras Eretz Yisrael, Kuli Amalei Pligi. If a boat is written on, I don't even know where the rivers are in Eretz Yisrael. I guess up north, then that's considered a regular get. Does not need fanei nefta. Ela ki pligi b'yam hagadol. The machlokes is by the Yam Hagadol, by the Mediterranean Sea. The Tanya, Ezu Aretz ve'ezu Chutz La'aretz. What is Eretz Yisrael? And what is considered Chutz La'aretz? Kol sheshefeya v'yored meturei amnanu lefnim Eretz Yisrael. Anything that it shefeya v'yored, meaning where the mountains start leaning down, and from there on in is considered Eretz Yisrael. Miturei Amnon l'chutz chutz alaretz, but from the slopes of when the mountain slopes from Turei Amnon, right? From the Turei means mountains. From the mountains of Amnon on the outside, that's considered chutz laretz, right? And Hanisin, which that's islands. Hanisin shebeyam raynas and ki'ilu chut matuach aleim. We look at it as if there's an invisible string, right? There's a string pulled across them. Miturei Amnon ad Nachal Mitzrayim, from Turei Amnon until Nachal Mitzrayim. Minachutu lefnim Eretz Yisrael, minachutu lechutz is chutz laretz, right? So basically, you're drawing a line across the I think the art scroll. The art scroll has a chart. Basically, Eretz Yisrael is like this, a little bit. So you're drawing a line from one set of mountains to the other set of mountains, and anything within that line is considered part of Eretz Yisrael. I think it doesn't international law state that's 12 miles out to sea belongs to that. Am I mistaken on that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's 12 miles, right? You get 12 miles belongs to that country. Okay, it's essentially what the Gemara is saying over here. So if a get,
The Gemara is saying Crete, Cyprus. I think Cyprus is part of Eretz Yisrael, according to that.
Is it? Yeah, fits in there.
Yeah.
I hear. So okay, but basically what the Gemara is saying is that if it's written on a boat, if the get is written on a ship within these boundaries, it's considered like Eretz Yisrael. You don't need funny enough. Right? Hanisin shebiyam, right? We just did them in a chut. Yeah, fine. Rabbi Yehuda, I mean, that's the Rabbanan. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. He says kol shekeneged Eretz Yisrael, anything that's opposite Eretz Yisrael, hareu Eretz Yisrael, that's like Eretz Yisrael. Shenemar ugvul yam, right? The boundary, the west boundary. Yam here doesn't mean ocean. It means the west. Lachem hayam hagadol ugvul ze yilachem gvul yam, and this gvul should be a gvul yam, right? So therefore, that's that it goes all the way. Now until where? This I didn't get straight.
Straits of Gibraltar.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. The whole Yam HaGadol is the border. Means it's included.
So you tell me
in
the
Eretz Yisrael.
entire Mediterranean Sea is part of Eretz Yisrael.
Almost, yeah.
Isn't Gibraltar south of Spain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of
That's what it means. That's what
We'll take Spain too.
That's where the Atlantic starts. Yeah.
That's where the Atlantic and the Pacific and the Mediterranean meet.
Not the Pacific.
No, the
The Atlantic
Pacific is
and the
not
Mediterranean.
the Pacific is
Did
not.
he say
I know.
the
I didn't know how
Pacific?
long the Pacific
say
goes along that
Pacific?
side. I know Pacific is in
No.
Rachamim's and neck of the woods. I know.
The dark Torah
The
education.
meeting points of the Pacific and the Atlantic is the tip of South America.
No, I thought maybe the other side, but okay, fine. So it's the Atlantic. What's the three?
Well, it has nothing to do with three. What's have to do with
Yeah,
three?
no, there's three.
Oh, the Atlantic, Pacific, and Antarctic oceans.
No. By the Gibraltar, isn't there three oceans there?
No,
It doesn't be. There's no in that area. There's no three. It's only
no,
two.
no. Atlantic and Mediterranean.
I don't know. What did he
Mediterranean
tell
the
you?
sea.
There's a story about a gadol that Punk went over there and he saw and he was able to make. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was only two seas. I thought it was three. The three seas. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, fine. So pardon my ignorance. Yeah. So whatever it is, he holds that Eretz Yisrael goes out to who knows where. But Nisan Shepet Stad and Royanoizan, and what about the islands on the sides, meaning north and south? Royanoizan ki'ilu chut matuach aleim mikafluria ba'ad yamukainas. You look, same thing. You stretch a string from Kafluria and till the west of Ukainas. Ukainas is the Atlantic Ocean, right? Rashi says that Kafluria is the Turei Amnon, but Amnon. Umenachal Mitzrayim, and then from the Nachal of Mitzrayim, Ba'ad Yom Ukainas, west until the Atlantic. Menachutul of Nim Eretz Yisrael. So when you draw those lines, so from the string and towards the inside is considered Eretz Yisrael. From there and out, it's chutz la'aretz.
So if Yishai Weeks is already Daf, he just found out he lives in Eretz Yisrael.
That's I want depending on where he lives. Yeah, taka. I don't know. Is that yeah? I mean, what's enough kamina? Do they duchen? Do they duchen? Right. So, okay, I never heard of anybody considering that like Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah, but a lot of the people in Gibraltar are Sephardi. They duchen anyway.
I hear. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know how that works exactly. But either way, so that's what we're saying now is machlokes. The Gemara says v'Rabbanan hayu gvul ma'yavdile, because Rabbi Yehuda is dashing the word gvul. What do the Rabbanan do with gvul? He needs it to tell you about the islands, right? If you wouldn't have said, if the pasuk would not have said gvul, right, then we would think that that Eretz Yisrael stops at the what do you call it? At the Mediterranean. But now that it says ugvul, so now the islands are included, right? Rabbi Yehuda, and how does Rabbi Yehuda know about the islands? Nasin leitzrichi kra says you don't need a pasuk for that, right? Because they're included in the boundaries of Eretz Yisrael. Okay, I can't say I get the maps exactly clear here what's going on, but point is that the maskanas advarim is, and that's the way we paskin, is that if you write a get in the what do you call it? I think that's the way we paskin. If you write a get on the water in Eretz Yisrael, you don't have to say b'fanei nefta, right? Fine. Okay. Weiter. So Rameir Aimer Akul Eretz Yisrael. So Rameir said Akul's Eretz Yisrael. So now we have to know a little bit about. There's not much to know, but about how Kivush Eretz Yisrael worked. You had Yeshua was Kivush some Eretz Yisrael. Then David HaMelech was Kivush. He I guess annexed more of Eretz Yisrael. So Yeshua's was definitely necessary. David's was not necessarily necessary. So the question is, what David captured, is that considered legitimately part of Eretz Yisrael or not legitimately part of Eretz Yisrael? Yeah, fine. So basically what he's asking is Syria, which I think Syria pretty much means Syria, right? Or that area, right? So if somebody sells his slave to Syria, so the din is if somebody sells an Eved Kanani outside of Eretz Yisrael, then the Eved Kanani goes automatically free, and the guy doesn't even get his money back, right? So what's the story with Syria? Is that considered Chutz La'aretz or not? Yeah. Fine. So Amr Lahu Tanisu, we learned the Rameir Reimer Akol Eretz Yisrael. Akol, we learned it on Mishnah. Akol's like Eretz Yisrael Gittin, right? So Mashma, it's only like Eretz Yisrael Gittin in Lavadim life. Gittin, yes, for Avadim, no. For Kol Shekain Surya, the Merach Katuva, and Kol Shekain Surya, right? That it's far away. Yeah. So we see that Surya is not considered part of Eretz Yisrael, not for Gittin and not for selling slaves. Fine. Now the Gemara goes into this whole sugi. So Tanarabban, B'shloisha Drachim Shavsa Surya Eretz Yisrael, B'shloisha L'chutz La'aretz. There's three ways that Surya is like Eretz Yisrael, and three ways that it's like Chutz La'aretz, Simin, Ayin, Beis, Reish, Kuf. Right? So that's just the Rashi Tevis for the things that we're going to discuss. So Afra Tameh b'chutz la'aretz, the dirt. We know that chutz la'aretz, they were geyser, the Chacham were geyser because people can be buried anywhere in chutz la'aretz. So they were geyser that it's tameh. The whole chutz la'aretz is tameh.
Doesn't it seem that's the opposite?
Nowadays, we the whole Eretz Yisrael they say are great, but unfortunately earthquakes and all the things. But but the chutz la'aretz you have no idea. Gzeira d'Rabbanan that chutz la'aretz is tameh. So did that gzeira apply to Syria too? So after Tamei Chutz La'aretz, so he's saying yes, it is. It's Tamei like Chutz La'aretz. Like we just said, if somebody sells his slave to somebody in Syria, then the Eved goes free. But maybe get Syria, can maybe Chutz La'aretz. And anybody who brings a get from Syria, do you have to say upon another? Yes, you do, because Surya is not considered part of Eretz Yisrael. Right? So Rashi says, because the people didn't travel often between Surya and Eretz Yisrael, there weren't so many travelers. Right? Ubeshloishel Eretz Yisrael, and the three ways Surya is like Eretz Yisrael. Chayev is b'maiser, ubeshviyis Eretz Yisrael. It's chayev in maiser and shmita like in Eretz Yisrael. So it's very interesting because it's mamish. It's split right down the middle. 3 ways that it's not like Eretz Yisrael, and 3 ways that it is. So maiser and shviyis, that's a big one. Right? Again, the first 3 cases we said it, the dirt is tamei, that's like chutz la'aretz. If you sell your servant there, it's like chutz la'aretz. And if you bring a get, it's like chutz la'aretz, and you have to say upon another. But there's 3 ways that it's like Eretz Yisrael. Meiser and Shvius, Eretz Yisrael, which is a big one. That's like, what's the main difference between living in Eretz Yisrael and chutz la'aretz? It's Trumas and Meisers. And Shemitah, that you have to keep. But right to the Konis Lopet Tahara.
Is Meiser Dafka as opposed to Truma?
I wasn't sure.
It's the same to Rabbanim. I mean, they were geyser that it's Tameh, and they're going to be geyser Truma to make it Truma Tameh and Rabbanim?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Right? Yeah. So, I don't know. We have it once that maybe there would be a difference between the mice and the truma. I don't remember. But anyways, okay. So it's Chaim and Meiser and Shvius like Eretz Yisrael. Right to the Konis Lo B'Tahira Nichnas. Right? And when I initially learned this, I didn't chap, but it's a stira. It says if somebody's tahar and wants to go into Eretz Yisrael, into Surya, he's allowed to. Didn't we just get finished saying that Surya is tamei? Right? It's a stira. It's a straight out stira. One of the 3 that we just learned is that Surya is tamei. Right? And now it's saying if you're tar and you want to go to Surya, you're allowed to. But kind of Sadav is Surya, and somebody buys a field in Surya on tamei base, I say this, Bepravore Yerushalayim. It's like buying it in the downtown Yerushalayim. Right? Meaning, point is that it's just as chashuv as mamish buying in the center of Yerushalayim. Yeah. Okay. So those are the 6. Chayeves b'maiser
So Yaakov, how did the Russian the Simon fit in over there? The iron base race coup. How does that fit in over here?
The last one.
We're supposed to be a mnemonic to remember this. I don't see how. Afra, I got it. Okay, good. That's the easy one. All right. The last one maybe is also kind of.
Was it what's bays?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I to be honest, I didn't pay attention to how it worked. I just saw the iron. I said, okay, iron works. Okay, that's good enough for me. Iron offer and
yeah.
the kuf is parvaka.
It's base ions. It's 2 ions.
2
It's
iron.
ion times 2. Ion times base.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, Afra and Avdoi. There's 2 ions.
That's a
Okay,
good one.
good. The base Reish. 2 Reishes.
That would be Eved. No, not Eved. Get. I don't know. Okay, if you figure it out by the end of the daf, you let those
Lots
know.
of look kind of nice. I don't know.
Okay, so good. So it's a good kasha. Yeah. So chayev is b'maiser v'shviyas Eretz Yisrael. It's chayev with maiser and shviyas like Eretz Yisrael because kasavar kibush yochid shmei kibush. He holds, this Tana holds that when a yochid David HaMelech conquered lands that bordered Eretz Yisrael, that's considered a kibush and now became part of Eretz Yisrael. And somebody wants to go into Surya when he's tar, he can go in. Oh, but Amrit Afra Tameh. Didn't we just say that the dirt is Tameh? So which one is it? So the answer is we're talking about, and we had this in, I'm going to guess Nedarim. Maybe Ksubas, I don't know. The Shida table
We had it a few times. I think we had it in Erevin.
Erevin for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
We had it
okay.
in there.
No, it was lately. I wouldn't remember Erev. Had to be something relatively late.
Yeah, with the nausea, I think with the nausea going into the
Nazir.
Messiah.
Yeah.
And the Nazarite in the very good, right?
Yeah.
In the cemetery. Right. We
Yeah.
had that a couple times. Yeah, very good. Thank you. So Bashida Teva Migdal, we're talking about where a guy is being carried in Syria in a box. Shida Teva Migdal, those are those are different types of boxes. The Tanya Nichnas Laretz Aham and Bashida Teva Migdal. Somebody who goes into Chutz Laretz in a Shida Teva Migdal, Rebbe Metama, Rebbe says he's Tameh, right? Because Rebbe holds that it doesn't repel the Tumah. Even though he's in a box, but still it doesn't block it, right? Rabbi Yezri Yehuda Matar. Rabbi Yezri Yehuda says no, it does block it. If you're inside a box, then it's going to block it. Without Filu Rebbe, and even Rebbe who says it doesn't block it, the Gazral al Gushav al Avira, he only made his gezerah that a box doesn't block it, where they made a gezerah that was on real chutz laretz, where they would made a gezerah on Gusha, on the ground, and on the Avira, and on the air. Right? Aval Surya al Gusha Gazru al Avira loy Gazru. But Surya, they made a gezerah on the gush, on the actual land, boots on the ground, as they say. If your boots are on the ground, that's going to make it tummy. Al Avira loy Gazru. They were not gezer on Avir. If you just go into the Avir of Syria, then that's not a problem. Right? So Mamela, we're saying that according to everybody, you can go into a box into Syria. So again, to walk on the ground in Syria, that's taka like chutz la'aretz, and you're not allowed to do it. But if you want to go in a box, then you would be able to go. You'd be able to go in Syria. So we discussed, but the Kehanim have
the tankers and when they were fighting.
Oh yeah, taka. That's right. The tankers. And so okay, it's not so again now because we're all tummy, but out Kehanim traveling over cemeteries and all that. So they're in a plane, or whether the plane actually acts as a barrier. So you had the Machmirim for a while that were putting themselves in body bags. The Kehanim when they took off till the airlines put a stop to that, right? Yeah, I don't remember or know the exact pratim. Yeah, but there are Gedolim, right? Reb Chaim Kanievsky refused to go to out of Eretz Yisrael from when he went in, right? I think now for the Adirei Torah event in Lakewood, whatever, in Philly next week, I heard that they're trying to get some Gedolim from Eretz Yisrael, some or one from Eretz Yisrael. So,
Was it doing
whatever.
Rab Dov Land, Rav Bergman are coming in.
Oh, that's what they decided. They got that. They were machlit that already.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, but they were all in America. They were.
Whoever's smart is going to get their ticket stubs. Have them get ticket stubs.
Nobody knows what ticket stubs are.
The owners of whatever the Gymnasium know what it is.
Yeah. Fine. Okay, so that's the story with the box. But if you buy a field in Syria, so that's as if you mamish bought a field in downtown Yerushalayim. That's my own taich. So what is in Nageya? What's the halacha that if you bought something in Syria, it's considered like buying Yerushalayim? Someone of Sheish is laima shekaisvin alav oinoi afilu b'Shabbos. So you could write. I didn't get the taich of oinoi exactly. You can write a contract, maybe? As an oinoi is a contract, that's what it seems. Shtar mechira, Rashi says. I don't know what he brings the Gemara above a Basra. Oinoi, okay, oinoi with an aleph is you can write a contract even on Shabbos, meaning it's so important, serious, like Eretz Yisrael, you could sign a contract on Shabbos. The Gemara says, Shabbos, you're writing?
I'm sorry, Yaakov, Shmuel said that there was cases when they had a chance to buy karka from Arabs, it was Gedolim who wrote contracts on Shabbos.
Yeah, with the shinoi or straight up?
I don't know. That he didn't say, but they did.
The
chance to ratify land from Arabs, they would do it.
But it said on the bottom of article that over there that they hired a guy to write it for them.
Well, that's what we know. That's the next teretz in the Gemara. But he's saying, you saying Shmuel said that.
In general, Abba?
If they had a chance to get land from Arabs, they would even do it on Shabbos to have a chance to take karka back of Eretz Yisrael from Goyim. Yeah.
There's an interesting thing happening. There was a huge machlokes b'negei to Shavuos with Gittin. We'll get to it in a minute. Let's just finish the Gemara first. Yeah. So anyway, so the Shabbos Agdaitich, you're going to think that you're buying land from a guy, Eretz Yisrael. That's Kibush Eretz Yisrael, big mitzvah. Get the land away from the guy, right? And the guy wants to leave. He says, if you don't buy it from me now, so I'm out. So you think you could be over on Issa Daraisa, Shabbos Agdaitich, you tell a guy and he does it, right? Which comes out, it's a very sensitive thing, which also has to do with the bone, what do you call it? What shit are we having on? Organ donations, right? Where if it's an Issa Daraisa, then even though you might save a life, doesn't mean, right? I mean, it's important to buy land off the guy in Eretz Yisrael, but if it's from the Gemara, it's clear. If it's an Issa, it's going to be an Issa Daraisa. You can't do it. It could be an opportunity of a lifetime, right? You can't do it. So you finagle it that you get a guy to do it, right? So like Rabba says in Gemara Shabbos, that you can get a guy, right? So here too, because it's a big tzarech mitzvah, we're allowed to ask a guy. And even though it's an Issa D'Rabbanan to ask a guy, from Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, it's not, they would not geyser. So basically, this is not a shvus de shvus. This is one D'Rabbanan, right? Normally, we know when it's two D'Rabbanans, like if you ask a guy to do a D'Rabbanan, right? So that's a shvus de shvus, that's already much more makom. But stam to be over in a D'Rabbanan, the Gemara is saying that
why is Yishuv Eretz Yisrael? Why is Yishuv Eretz Yisrael?
So the way Rashi says it,
why is Yishuv Eretz Yisrael more important than opening a bottle on Shabbos? Is that your question?
Yeah. So it said, Rashi says.
No, well, why are you allowed to be over a bun and more than you're allowed more than turning on a light with a sheenai? So that's what I'm asking.
It's a good question. So that's a good question. But 1 second. So the way Rashi says, Mishum Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, Rashi says, Legarish Oivdei Kechavim, the Leishev Yisrael Ba. Right? It sounds like it's a double mitzvah to get the goyim out and that the Yidden should live there. Right? Now, does that mean that if it's abandoned property, that no guy is living there, do you still have the heter? Because it's Yishuv Eretz Yisrael, but there's no guy there. So meaning, do you need both, according to Rashi?
It could be maybe a guy would get it. Maybe
could be, but that's to prevent the guy from taking it. I'm not so sure that that's I think the Pashup shot would be that you would.
Bisman Azeh, you could do this.
Bisman Azeh, you could do this. Yeah, you could do it. I tell you, it came up. I remember my father's doing when the people were begging Aliyah, and they asked him, "Could we discuss the apartments? Could we discuss prices? Could we discuss all that stuff?" I remember him saying that, but it's Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. You're allowed to do a D'Rabbanan. You're allowed to do a D'Rabbanan. But mitzvah Yishuv Eretz Yisrael.
I'm allowed to tell a guy to go to contract for me in Eretz Yisrael on an apartment.
100%. Yeah, that's the Gemara. 100% is the way we pass.
Is it to get the guy out?
What is wrong with Bisman Azeh? What do you keep on talking about? Bisman Azeh is what 400 years ago was a mitzvah to buy from the Arabs, and now it's not. The terrorist condom shouldn't.
Maybe it was a danger. It was a danger, maybe then. I don't know. I'm not
There's no danger now. There's no danger now in Eretz Yisrael.
I'm talking about buying it.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Yeah.
The mice that happened to me was we were sitting there eating by somebody who lives in Far Rockaway, and they were discussing pricing in the apartment. I know if this was $279, $274. And from the kitchen, the lady's like, the wife, she says, isn't it Nishto Shabbos Garet? Tati says, you should Eretz Yisrael's Dach Shabbos. $249 for that apartment?
There you go. Yeah, so that
I'm
Yeah,
just
go
trying
ahead.
to understand why is it any different than
And
turning
any
on a
other
light?
mitzvah. Very good. So look at the
It looks-
Taisus. Look at the Taisus. Taisus Apagav, the big Taisus there, says, Al Mishum mitzvah cheres loy. Loy hayinu, I'm sorry. Loy hayinu matir and amir loy bekacham v'melachat dairaisa. Kedumur perakador. Right? For other mitzvahs dairaisas, you cannot, for any, I'm sorry. Yeah, for other mitzvah dairaisas, you cannot ask a guy to do malacha. You cannot ask a guy to do a malacha dairaisa in order to get a mitzvah.
Can
Right?
we ask a guy if a woman didn't cut her nails for mikvah?
Yes. But lechatchila, we want the guy to bite the woman's nails.
Right.
Try that one. Okay. Try that
Yeah.
one. Okay. You get a guy to bite the woman's nails. A woman shows up in the mikvah, and well, first of all, if she has all her nails, it's usually negayah more if she forgot one nail, which, believe it or not, happens. It happens that they forget one nail. I don't know what the pshat is, or a hangnail or whatever it is. So a hangnails are the rabbanon. So
you're allowed to do it with
sure.
is the women allowed to do it Friday night with a shinoi?
They themselves, no, but they
Why
can get a
not?
guy. They get a guy to do it with a shimon.
Why not? To the Rabbanon.
It's a derabbanon. You can't be over the derabbanon.
It's not doich.
No, it's
mikvah,
not. I
whatever.
mean, it's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah, but I'm saying you can go the next night.
Yeah, do we ever have a guy to working in a mikveh?
Sure, the Farak mikvah has a guy Friday
Really?
night. Sure.
Oh.
I don't know. Woodburn maybe doesn't have. But,
Rockways- One, most of the bigger mikvos have non-Jewish help, doing laundry.
yeah, they have right. They're probably doing. They're doing the help. So they can comb hair and they can cut nails. But really, lechatchila, they should cut the nails without. They should cut the nails without.
Well, Muncie and Lakewood have goyim driving around every place for Friday night, so they can get them, no problem.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
they can cut the
Can you join
nails. They
now?
can bite the nails on the way to the mikveh.
They can watch the playoff games, no?
Yeah.
Isn't there a service fee to have a guy pass by your house now?
There is a guy. Yeah, you can sign up for that guy. Anyways, so Lamaisa, you cannot use a guy to do other mitzvahs. The rise of mitzvahs, Yishuv Eretz Yisrael is important enough. Why? I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if I'm not even exactly sure. I'm just not sure why mitzvahs Yishuv Eretz Yisrael is so important that mitzvah you're allowed to be over and it's the Rabbanon. Right?
But the Rabban, it works. That's a pashtus according to many Rishonim. The entire purpose of the Torah was to keep mitzvahs in Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah, again, yeah.
The whole purpose was for the Torah to be in Eretz Yisrael. So that's Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. It's
okay, but I'm saying it still doesn't seem okay. I don't know if that explains why you should be. Yes, it's a major mitzvah.
It's more than a major mitzvah. It's the major mitzvah.
Am I allowed to ask a guy? Am I allowed to mind the guy to drive me to learn in a base message? It's Torah. Torah is also a big mitzvah.
No, because you could learn at home.
Let's say I can't learn at home.
I know the feeling.
So you have schar alicha. You're missing on schar alicha.
I'm saying why I understand you should. I'm very
But Gershon
machshav
is saying because it's such a major mitzvah. It's such a major mitzvah.
I'm
That's the
machshav Yishuv Eretz Yisrael. I just don't understand why it's in a different shlav than Torah than I'm saying than Shabbos. Why is it any different?
because it's so important. It's the Yish. I think really a part of what I'm thinking is because that's what Rashi says, where is what is that Rashi? Where he's booking out of town. He wants to leave. They didn't have phones back then. This guy leaves and you're done. Right? The guy may never show up again, and now you're stuck. You can't buy that land. So it must be that type of thing. Right. So now, what was the Maisa? It was the Chasam Sofer. Who was the Maisa? Who was second day Shavuos? There was a
Chasam Sofer.
There's a Chasam Sofer, and who did he go against?
I think all the other Rabbanim.
I don't remember who. Somebody wanted on second day Shavuos.
There was a man who was a Geisis.
Right.
And
he was
they wanted to write a get for his wife because his wife. Talking about traveling, he had a brother who lived in someplace in Russia. And you would never be able to have Yibam, or never be able to have Chalitza.
She'd be stuck. She'd be in Aguna. She would be in Aguna because they
Right.
never know if the guy's coming back. So Who mattered it? I don't remember.
I don't know.
One of the big Gedolim mattered them to write a get second day Shavuos, figuring that it's a Derabanan. Did the guy write it? I don't remember. Whatever, he finagled it. Second day Shavuos, write the get, and that's it. And some cipher was against it.
Why did I have to write it on working the weight?
He was dying. He's a
Oh.
geisis. He was dying. So yeah, that was a big tumult back then. Okay, fine. Let's see why. So Eved Shehevi Gittin. So if an Eved brings, now we know that there's not only is Gittin Nashim, there's something called a get shichra, which is that when you want to divorce a Eved, meaning you're freeing the Eved, so then you give him a get also, writing that he's free. Right? Same dinam as a get for the most part. So we'll see in tomorrow's daf, the similarities, non-similarities. So talking about Eved Shehevi Gittin. So Eved brings his get, because of boy, and in the get it writes Atzmecha, you, meaning you the Eved, the Nechsai, and my belongings, Knuyen Lach, are all yours. Meaning the Balabas, his owner, told him that you're free and you get to keep all my belongings. So what's the din? Atzmai Kana, he himself is Kaina, meaning he's Kaina himself, the Eved goes free. Right, but nechasim like kana, but the nechasim is not kana, right? Because, like we said, he's his own shliach, right? He brought this get shichra from Chutz La'aretz Eretz Yisrael. So, like a woman, we're saying that the shliach is believed. So, even if the woman is a shliach for herself, now she's really her husband's shliach, and she's bringing the get, she's believed to say upon nechtam. So this Eved's believed on that too. But nechasim, that's regular finances. He's an eidechad, he's not believed. Right, so it doesn't work. Yeah. So then Gemara asks, let's say he says kol nichsai knuyen lach. Let's say it says all of my belongings. Right. So in the previous case, the shtar said that the Eved is kaina himself and the belongings. Here it says kol nichsai knuyen lach, everything, which l'chayr would mean that's including. Kol means including the Eved, including everything. He gets it. So Ma, what's it in? So Rabbi Mitoysha Kana Atzmai, Kana Nechasim. Since he's Kana himself, he's also Kana all the belongings. Right? Meaning you can't split Kol Nechsai and say, oh, Kol Nechsai means he can only get part of it. It's all there. It's all or nothing. Amalei Rava. So Rava asked him, Bishlama Atzmai Likni. You understand that the Eved is Kana himself, Midi Dava get Isha. Isha, it's the same thing as a get Isha. Right, to get Isha, she's kind of herself when she's the shliach. So the Eved would also be kind himself. El nechasim loy likni, but nechasim he shouldn't be kind of. Midi dahava kiyum shtaris da'ama. The same thing like any other kiyum shtaris. Right. Once it gets into the guy's belongings that he's giving it over to somebody, that is a standard shtar. Meaning we were makel, like we said in the first daf, in the second daf, in the Masechta, we were makel with one shliach in order to make women not agunas. But other than that, in order to confirm a shtar, you need two. So here it's a standard shtar, the belongings. So why would one work? So that's what Rob is asking Abaya, that you can't split it. So Hadar Amar Abaya, so Abaya changed his mind. He said, Matoysha lekana nechasim lekana atzmai. So now let's go the other way around and say, okay, he's not kind of the nechasim because he's not believed, because you need two edim. So then Mamela, he's not kind of himself either, because again, we're not going to split the shtar. Rava said, Bishlam and the chasim, we understand the chasim, David is not kind of all the belongings needed ava kiyum shtaris da'ava, because we know kiyum shtaris needs two. Ella atzmai likni, but he himself should be kind of midi dahava get isha, similar like get isha. Why shouldn't he be kind of himself? Right? So he's asking on Abaya, why are you saying both? Right? You're not kind of. He should be at least be kind of one. Yeah.
Isn't it an issa to free your Eved?
Yes.
So what are these people doing?
What are they doing? I don't know. One second. This is an Eved.
This is Eved Kanani,
right? Eved Kanani.
Yeah.
So why is it not Asr? I don't know. Isn't it's got to be there has to be a shot. There are scenarios where we do allow it, right?
We left.
Well, yeah, the famous was Rabbi Gamliel to his Tuvi was
For the minion.
It was Rabbi Gamliel. What?
Heavy Abda.
Yeah, but all these are
But
just
they
like,
asked on him. But the Gemara asked there on him, right? Why
yeah.
was able to do that?
You knocked out a tooth or an eye.
No, that's for Ivry, no?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know, Taka. I don't know. Either way, so now Rava says it can't be that he's not kind himself. So Elam Rava, echad zeh ve'echad zeh, right? Whether it's this one, whether it's that one, if whether it said my belongings go to him or all my belongings go to him, atzmai kana nechasim leikana. The Eved's kind himself. He's not kind his nechasim. Some of the Rav Ada bar Masel Rava, Kiman, who is this going? Like Reb Shimon. It's going like Reb Shimon. The Amar Pagina Dibura. We can split the words. Right? There's such a concept of believing half of what was said. The Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah Kosev called the Chasav La'avdei. Let's say a guy says he writes all his avadim, he writes all his belongings go to his Eved. Yotzab ben Chayrin. So then the Eved is one of the belongings. So the Eved goes out to free. Shire karka kolshu, but if he left over even a little bit of karka, and he said all my belongings are going to my Eved, except for one field. And he didn't say which field it is, right? And Rashi says it doesn't necessarily have to be a field; it could be anything, right? Lo yotza ben chayrin, then he does not go free, right? So meaning because since he showed he's not giving away everything, so he didn't mean to give away his slave either, right? So that's the first sheet. Reb Shimon Omer on Tamar Aleph now la'olam who ben chayrin. He's a ben chayrin in everything, right? Like Rashi says, because what he revealed, and what he didn't reveal, he didn't reveal. Ad sheyomer, unless he says kol nechsayin nesuna leplini abdi, until he says all my belongings go to Pliny my Eved, chutz me echad mi ribu shebehen, except for 1/10,000th of my property. Right? Meaning once he excludes something from giving it to his Eved, then we say that he meant that the Eved himself, meaning the Eved will become a millionaire. Now he can become a millionaire because the guy gave him everything, but he's still the Eved. Right? Because once the guy left out something, so we're going to assume he's leaving out the Eved too. Right? Okay, so that's the first part of the Shaila. That's a machlokes. So Reb Shimon holds you can split his words. V'amar Reb Yosef, Amar Yumei, Amar Reb Nachman. Right? Afal pi shakilas Reb Yossi as Reb Shimon, even though Reb Yossi praised Reb Shimon because he liked Reb Shimon's shot here, right? That everything the Eved goes to the Eved gets everything except if the Baal leaves anything out. But halacha Rameir, the halacha is like Rameir, right? So to Tanya, because we learned in the Brayso when they said this over, they said Rameir, what Rameir and Reb Shimon they said over to Reb Yossi. Kara Allah hamikra zeh. He said on him this pasuk Svasayim Yishak Meisher Dvarim Lechachim. His lips are going to kiss, and when he's Meisher Dvarim Lechachim, when he says good things, right? So, meaning he deserves a kiss. That's what Rashi says. Roy Hulanashik. So, Memela, he was weak. But the bottom line is, even though Reb Shimon was saying good, but still, we don't pass him like Rameir. So, again, it's hard to understand. So, if he said a good vart, but Lamaisa, we're not going to pass him like him. He said over good zach, he gets a kiss from his Rebbe, but we don't pass him like that. Right? I guess maybe that's why he got a kiss as a chizik. Like you said good, but we're not passing him like you. Right? Maybe. But whatever it is, you see that we pass him like Rameir. And we're not splitting the words. Not splitting his words. Right? As long as if he leaves over any bit of karka, he doesn't own himself. Yeah. So Gemara says, did Rav Nachman really say this? that you can't split it up. Amar Rav Yosef Amar Yumei, Amar Rav Nachman, Shchiv Meirah. So Shchiv Meirah is somebody who's dying, right? We just discussed somebody who's on his deathbed. So a special din by somebody is on his deathbed because of the Yerusha issues. So if he gives everything away as a present, and then he ends up living, he gets to take it all back. He gets to take it all back because we're saying the assumption is he was only giving it away because he assumed he's going to die. But had he not died, he wouldn't have given it away. So if he makes a miraculous recovery, so then he gets to keep it. So Shchimer Ashikosav Kol Nechasav La'avdai, that he writes all the Nechasav to his Eved, but Amar, and then he stood up from his sickness. Chayzer b'nechasim, he can go back to and take back all his nechasim. Ve'ena chayzer be'eved, but he can't take his Eved back. Chayzer b'nechasim. Right? The reason why you can get everything back is because it's a matan of a shrimira. The Eved, when it doesn't go back in an Eved, Sharei Yotza love Shem Ben Parim. Once the Eved tastes Chayrus, you can't take him back. Right?
That's the original.
Like Rashi says, interesting thing. Rashi says that you can't because it's also to make him back into an Eved. Right? Once he was free, you can't make him back into an Eved. Right? So whatever it is, you see that you could split the guy's words because again, the Shchimera was dying. He said, "I'm giving everything away," and then if he comes, he's not back alive, but he doesn't die. So we split his words. Right? So you see that Rav Nachman does hold you can split his words. We just got finished saying that Rav Nachman holds you can't split. So what is it? Can you split somebody's words or not? The reason why there's a special din the reason why that Rameir said that the Eved, he keeps the Eved, is because Mishum Delay Kros Gita, it was not a real chorus, meaning it wasn't a real cutoff of a get. Right? We say this a lot of times by a get, there has to be a get creases, has to be a complete separation. Right? So since the boss said that he is keeping some of his belongings, some of Mela we're going to say that he didn't mean to free the Eved, even though we don't know for sure. Right? So Mela, it's not considered a full freedom. Fine. Okay, a little bit difficult. Then the Gemara says, if the Mishnah says that if there are people that are complaining about the get, right? So then you should be makayim it. You should get somebody to approve the signatures, right? Yeah. So who's exactly making the complaint? Irer kama. How many people are making the complaints? If you're going to say it's one. Rabbi Yochanan says, according to everybody, Irer is not less than 2. So there can't be. It has to be 2 people. So it must be that 2 people complain that it's not a good get. So then Trey or Traininu. So then that's 2 against 2. My chazan to samafta hani. Why are you saying that how are you gonna rely on the 2 that say, oh, the get's a kosher get? Samach hani, be samach on the ones that say not true. It's a puzzle get, right? So why it's 2 against 2? So it must be ela'ir the baal. It's not talking about 2 on 2. It's talking about where the husband is the one that complained, right? So and midaraisa, the get is still good even if the husband complains about it. But the Chachamim said that if the husband complains about it, then you have to be makayim it with 2 signatures. Yeah. Okay, so we did almost a blot and a half. So so tomorrow we'll stop here, and tomorrow B'ez Hashem we'll try and do also another blot and a half, and then let's say Yom Tov. All right. Have
Good nerve Yom Tov.
All right, what time tomorrow?
So we said around 7.